Welcome everyone. So today we shall continue with the lesson Heredity and Variation from class 9, and this is part 2 video of this lesson. For part 1 you can check my playlist, okay, or you can just check the description box below. Alright, so in today's session, first of all we will learn about deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA. Okay, so what is this deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA? Alright, so chromosomes are mainly made up of a DNA, and this acid was discovered by the Swiss biochemist Friedrich Miescher in 1869 while studying white blood cells. So during the study of white blood cell, this Friedrich Miescher discovered the DNA for first time. Alright, so initially this acid was reported to be only in the nucleus of the cell, and hence it was named as nucleic acid. However, it was later realized that it is present in other parts of the cell too, and molecules of DNA are present in all organisms from viruses and bacteria to the human beings. Alright, and these molecules control the functioning, growth and division, that is reproduction of the cell, and are therefore called as a master molecule. So DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid are known as the master molecules. Now here we have each strand in the molecule of DNA is made up of many small molecules known as a nucleotide. Now what are these nucleotides? Okay. Now, a nucleotide is an organic molecule that is a building block of a DNA and RNA. So, DNA is nothing but deoxyribonucleic acid, and RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. Okay, so these nucleotides are the building block of these two molecules. Alright, and a nucleotide is made up of three parts: a phosphate group, 5 carbon sugar, that means it is a pentose sugar which containing 5 carbon atom, and a nitrogenous bases. So these are the three parts of the nucleotide. So this is a phosphate sugar, phosphate backbone, and these are the nitrogenous base pair which are present inside the helical structure. Alright, and these nitrogenous base pair from the two strands are joined together by or held together by hydrogen bonds, that is H bonds. Alright, and there are 4 types of nitrogenous bases we have in DNA: adenine and guanine, and next we and adenine and guanine together called as a purines, and third and fourth one are cytosine and thymine. So cytosine and thymine are known as a pyrimidine. So these are the 4 nitrogenous bases, that is adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine, from which adenine and guanine are known as a purines, and cytosine and thymine are known as a pyrimidines. Alright. Okay, so in the structure of the nucleotide, a molecule of nitrogenous base and phosphoric acid are each joined to the molecule of a sugar. And here we have the structure of a nucleotide, in which you can observe here phosphate group is there, and phosphate group is attached to the pentose sugar, or we can say 5 carbon sugar. In pentose means there are 5 carbon atom will be there in a sugar molecule, and this sugar is attached to the nitrogenous bases. And we have 4 types of nitrogenous bases, that is A, T, C or G, that is adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. Okay, so as there are 4 types of a nitrogen bases, nucleotides also are of 4 types, and nucleotides are arranged like a chain. So arranged like a chain in a molecule of a DNA, and the two threads of a DNA molecule are comparable to the 2 rails of a ladder. Like you can observe here, blue one and brown one, these are compared to the 2 rails of a ladder, and each rail is made up of a alternately joined molecule of a sugar phosphoric acid. Okay, sugar phosphoric acid means phosphate group attached to the pentose sugar, then this pentose sugar will attach to the nitrogenous bases. Okay, so each rung of the ladder is a pair of a nitrogenous bases joined by a hydrogen bond. Just now I have saved in your previous slide. So adenine, here you can observe here cytosine are always paired with the guanine, that means G will paired with the cytosine with hydrogen bonds, and adenine will always paired with the thymine with the hydrogen bond. Okay, so this is the basic structure of a DNA molecule. So I hope you all have understood about the structure of a this deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA. Okay, next we have a gene. So what is the gene? So here we have one picture. So each chromosome is made up of a single DNA molecule, and segment of the DNA molecule are called as a gene. So in the cell we have nucleus, and inside the nucleus we have chromosome, and chromosome is made up of a deoxyribonucleic acid, and a part or segment of a DNA is called as a gene. Alright, so due to variety in the sequence of nucleotides, different kinds of genes are formed. Variety means there are, we know that adenine is paired with the thymine, and cytosine are paired with the guanine. So these are different on different strands. Okay, so these genes are arranged in a line. Genes control the structure and function of the cells and of the body, and also they transmit the hereditary characteristic from parents to offspring. That means the genes are responsible to transfer the hereditary character, that is physical and mental characters, from parents to their young ones or their offspring. Okay, and that is why many similarities are seen between parents and their offspring, and information about protein synthesis is stored in the gene. Okay, and as genes are responsible for the transmission of hereditary characteristic from parents to offspring, they are said to be the functional units of a heredity. So this is all about genes. Okay, now next we have DNA fingerprinting. So what is that? Okay, so DNA fingerprinting is a laboratory technique used to establish a link between biological evidence and a suspect in a criminal investigation. Alright, so this is a technique in which the DNA sample has been taken from a crime scene, and that DNA sample is compared with the suspect DNA sample. Alright, so just to investigate the criminal situation. So the sequence of the gene in the DNA of a person, that is the genome of the person, is identified. Now genome, it is a complete set of a DNA, complete set of a gene of particular organisms or person. Okay, so it is useful to identify the lineage and to identify criminals. Why? Because it is unique to every person. Alright, so student, I hope you all have understood. So that's it for today's video, and next part we will continue in our next session. Thank you.